The first step in making your DIY labels is to go to the internet. Once you've opened up your internet browser, you're going to type in whatever you want for winter. I'm typing in winter banners. And then when you get to the winter banners, you're going to open up images. And then you can just scroll through. They have lots of different kinds, different colors. I ended up choosing this one. It is a blue option and a black option. You are now going to click on that image and open it up in a new tab. And once it is in the new tab, you want to copy the image and you are going to put it into any kind of editing software that you would like. I'm choosing to use Word to edit this project. So you're going to open up a Word document and paste it in there. For my image, I'm having to crop it. So I'm just going to the crop option and cropping out the black one and just leaving the blue one. Once the image is cropped, you want to make sure that it is tight wrapped in the document. It is now time to add text to your DIY label. I'm using word art, but you can also just add a text box. I chose the specific one that I liked, and then you're going to type in whatever your label is going to be for. My first label is going to be for a long sleeved shirts drawer. So then you're going to add the text that you typed out and you're going to center it as best as you can inside of that label. To make it easier for the next label you are going to create, you can just copy that image and paste it back into the document. And then again, double check that it is tight wrapped in the document. And then you can just keep adding as many as you need and follow the same process of adding your text. And you can change the text if you want to. If you want it to be different for each one, that's perfectly fine. I'm sticking with the same type of style. I'm just changing the words, and this one is going to be for a winter PJs drawer. Here are all of my final labels that I chose to do. I'm doing 4 different ones, and I added a winter dresses / jackets one and a jeans / leggings one. After you are finished creating all of your labels, you are going to print them out. I'm printing them out on regular paper, and in my settings on this computer, I'm going to be making sure that it's printed on one side, not both sided, and then I'm just making one copy of that. Now that you have all of your labels printed out, I ended up printing out 2 more because I forgot about these 2 drawers. You're also going to need some contact paper. You are going to need a scraper of some sort to flatten the contact paper when it goes on top of this paper, just to make it smooth with no air bubbles. You are also going to need a pencil or a pen, and you will need a ruler. I went ahead and zoomed you in now and set my other labels aside, and I'm going to show you how to make straight edges around your label for when you cut it out. You're going to take your pencil and your ruler, and you are just going to go on either side of your label, and right at the edges of it, you are going to go ahead and make a line. You're going to do this as well on the sides. Once you have those lines drawn, you're now going to take a pair of scissors and you are going to cut along those lines to cut the label out. Now that you have your cutout label, it is time to start figuring out how big the contact paper is going to be. I had some leftover pieces already, but here's what the contact paper looks like on this side, and then the other side is the actual paper part. And this side has measurements. This one, the measurements have been cut off, but each one of these squares is an inch. So you just lay down the piece of paper like so, and you're going to take this piece of paper and you will want to make lines across to that and at the bottom and here around it, just to get the approximate outline, but I always make it a little bit bigger so that whenever you're done you can get it cut close so that you don't come up short. So I'm now going to show you how to do that. Now that you have it drawn out at the desired size that you want, you're going to again take your scissors and cut that out. You are going to have to make 2 of those because you're going to need one to cover the front side of it and one to cover the back side. But I always just go ahead and cut out this afterwards just because I'm going to use it as a template when I make the next one. And contact paper curls up really easily, so sometimes this can be tricky to do, but you just have to be slow and patient with it. Now that you have that cut out, I'm going to lay it on top of another piece of contact paper that I have laying here, and then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to trace around that. You now have your 2 pieces of contact paper cut out, and you are going to be applying them onto the actual label. So you're going to take your label and lay it flat, and then you're going to pick one of your pieces of contact paper and you're going to be placing it on like this. And I always use my scraper for this part. This is where it comes in handy because when you start applying it, you're going to scrape it to keep any air bubbles out. But the way I do it is I take this and then I peel the edge of one side, and then you're going to just use a little bit. I fold it over like that, and then I will stick it down like so, and then as I pull it I will flatten it down. This just helps to reduce bubbles and helps the process go easier than if you were to just stick the whole piece down at one time. You just scrape as you go. So now you have where it looks like this and there aren't any air bubbles. Then you're going to pick it up off of that surface and you will do the same thing on the other side. Now that you have the contact paper on both sides, this is what it looks like. Now you have all this excess on here and you don't want that, so you're going to again take your scissors and cut that off. But you want to be careful when you're cutting. You want to cut close but not all the way because the contact paper can separate from itself, and then basically you're going to ruin all the work that you just did. So this is what your completed label looks like on both sides. This just helps that you don't just have a piece of paper, it's kind of protected. And I will go ahead and show you where my label goes and how I attach it. So here is my drawer, and I'm going to be taking that label, and I'm also going to be taking tape, and all I do is I peel off a little piece of this tape. And I use this tape because it's not going to ruin my drawers. So I'm going to fold it over like so. I basically find as center as possible. I find the center, and then I take that label and I just stick it on the drawer like that. And that is what it looks like when you put a label on your drawer. You can also make the labels smaller or bigger depending on your preference, but that is the final look. So these are all of the finished drawers with their labels. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.